And I said, hey, Poonie, how can I introduce you? Champion, Hall of Famer. He shook his head and smiled. He says, I want you to introduce me as the chief janitor. Because every time I would go to his studio, he'd be the one pushing them up. He'd be the one holding the rags. He'd be the one filling the water jugs. He'd be the one walking to the bathroom with the extra toilet paper rolls. He wanted to be known not as something he accomplished, but as somebody who served other people. Look at Philippians chapter 2. Have this mind in you, the mind of Christ. God, a very God, from eternity past, worshipped by all the angels and all the created beings and the cosmos and the universe. In him was everything. And then he comes, born in a manger. Then he comes with pimples on his face. Then he comes through puberty and his voice cracks. Then he goes to the tabernacle. He goes to the temple. Then he grows in all these ways and he's crucified as a man to die for you and me. So what kind of attitude should you and I have? A servant's attitude. We made a covenant with you, Gibeonites, so we're not going to kill you. We made a covenant so you can worship God. But you got to start at the bottom. Cut the wood, bring the water, clean the altars, and they're going, yes, I like chopping wood. Yes, I like carrying water. Yes, I like being close to the presence of God. If we would be faithful in a little, he would give us more. We're his workmanship made for his good deeds. Today was pretty cool. I got to church a little bit early today. My youngest child, my son Enoch, who became a member yesterday, he wanted to come to church early with me, and we had a nice time driving. In fact, he was mostly asleep the whole time, but we got here to church. It was good. And it reminded me, when I was a kid, my dad's a pastor. He's been a pastor my whole life. He started a church in upstate New York outside of Albany at a Howard Johnson's hotel. I used to think every Howard Johnson's was a church. I'd be like, hey, Dad, they got a lot of people for a Thursday night, don't they? Be like, yeah, it's something true. I didn't dawn on me it was a hotel until I was like, 12 years old. Anyway, I used to go early with my dad sometimes. My mom would come later with my siblings, but I would go early with him, and we'd have to set up the chairs. And back then we had cassette tapes, and he showed me how to run the recorder. So I would record it, and then I'd take that first tape, and I'd make all the copies of it, and I'd stick the stickers on it. I'd just stick the stickers on it. It's kind of a tedious job, and you just flip the tapes. My dad would preach for over an hour, so the tapes have to flip over after he preaches that first hour, and you record the other side. And that was my job. I liked doing it. No, I'm not really sure I like doing it. I liked riding in the car with my dad. I liked spending time with my dad going to church. It wasn't that I liked setting up chairs. It's that I liked when my dad said, oh, you got 2 chairs. Pretty strong there, aren't you, Drew? Yeah, I am pretty strong, Dad. Well, good job. Keep building those muscles. Get another row up there, It was that time in his presence that I enjoyed. So I was more than willing to serve. The Gibeonites were more than willing to serve so they could spend time near the tabernacle. They could spend time cutting not just anybody's wood. This wood is going to the altar. This wood is going to help people come close to God. Not just bring water for anybody. I'm bringing water for the priests so they can wash and be baptized and cleansed so they can serve God. You see how everything becomes holy. Every part of your life should be holy unto God. Every part. You're waking up, you're going to sleep, your diet, your exercise. Every part should be God's part. You and I should say, I serve the Lord in everything. This is my duty to Him to present myself unto God as a workman that doesn't need to be ashamed. Better is one day in His courts than thousands elsewhere. Last night we had a lot of fun playing basketball. I probably had the most fun playing basketball. And listen, I had 6 teams of rosters. And if you didn't play last week and you want to play this week, I can make a spot for you. I will. And some of you guys, I'm not looking at anybody, but some of you guys signed up and you didn't make it last night. In fact, the guy that was going to be on my team that was my ringer, he was going to score all the points. Right before he calls me and says, hey, I can't make it. I'm like, oh man, I'm probably going to lose tonight. And then I looked around and I saw a couple people that weren't on a team. I'm like, nope, I'm not going to lose. I make the teams. I'm going to take that guy on my team. Guy that just called me, you just got traded. You ain't on my team next week. I'm going to pick up somebody else. You think I'm just going to play with 3 players? Nah. I'm going to pick up somebody else. Don't lose your spot. Judas got picked by Jesus, walked with Jesus, heard Jesus, distributed bread with Jesus, saw Jesus walk on water. He saw Jesus raise the dead. He had a place with Jesus and the disciples. And then he betrayed Jesus. He hung himself. And then in Acts chapter 1:26, what do the disciples do? They go, hey, there's 11 of us. And someone says, there ought to be 12. Let's replace him. And then they shot some dice, cast some lot, and they picked the guy. Matthias, hey, you're in, man. You're the new Judas, but don't go too far with that. You're the 12th man. We need 12. We got you. You're in. You know what they did? They replaced him. I don't want to be replaced.